everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the mid-month money update for the month of April. If you are new to my channel, what's up? Welcome. My name is Zoey. I'm 26 and I live in Montreal. Every single month for the past almost 2 years at this point, I have been filming monthly money videos where I let you in behind the scenes of my budget. We talk about my successes, my mistakes, my failures, we talk about everything. And it's basically just a fun, friendly way for us to talk amongst friends about money and learn and grow together. Here and there, I've done these mid-month updates where basically halfway through the month, I kind of check in with my budget. I often like to sprinkle these into my vlogs because a big thing on my channel and I don't know, what I guess I'm trying to promote is kind of this intersection and the mix of lifestyle and personal finance. I find oftentimes on YouTube, we see lifestyle creators that have these really beautiful, aspirational lives, and that's amazing, and they're really fun to watch. And we have personal finance creators that are also really fun to watch, but sometimes can promote these lifestyles of being very frugal or, I don't know, basically maybe just, if I'm being blunt, never going out and never spending money. And to me, that's not fun. So I really like to bring the two together in my content and just show you guys personal finance content that is not advice, is probably not best practice, but is real to me. And you can do with that information what you will. And I'm not a professional, but that's my goal with my content. And that's why I usually like to include these mid-month check-ins in a vlog, but it just didn't work out this month. So I'm doing a separate video. I would love to know your feedback on whether you like them in the vlogs, whether you prefer them standalone. I really want this video to be quick and to the point. So I guess I better stop talking and let's get into the mid-month check-in. I'm drinking a cup of cinnamon tea. It's a really gloomy day. I'm just really cozy, just trying to be productive. It's actually Monday. It's Monday, April 17th today. So we're right at about the midpoint of April. By the time you guys see this, it might be a few days later. So it's really the perfect day to do this exercise. Now, before we get into all of the numbers, as I always like to do, I want to talk about feeling a little bit. And I've been feeling a bit stressed about money this month. I feel like my financial anxiety is kind of coming back stronger than it's come back in a little while, I want to say. And now the good news is that I know that looking at my budget already, what I did, the steps that I did before filming this, just getting everything prepared to film, has already made me feel better. I know talking it through with all of you is going to make me feel better. But let's talk about why I've been feeling kind of stressed. I think the trigger is kind of this nice weather, because here in Canada or in Montreal, where I live, it's so easy to get very shut in the wintertime and spend way less money. And now that it's beautiful outside, especially this past weekend in Montreal, we had summer weather. It was gorgeous, and you want to go out, you want to grab an ice cream, you want to have a little dinner on a terrace, you want to go for a drink. All of those things tend to add up very quickly. And for me, food and dining out is kind of my least favorite area to spend money. Or we could say it's the area where when I do spend money there, I feel the most guilt. When I buy clothes for myself, when I buy home stuff, I don't really feel that guilt. I feel like I'm able to justify it better, and those kind of categories bring me a lot of joy. And it's not to say that eating out doesn't bring me joy. I don't know. I feel guilty when I spend on eating out or when I spend on drinks or whatever. And part of that might be because it's very easy to get peer pressured into that kind of spending, especially when it's nice out, because a lot of the times it's if you want to go hang out with your friends, well, if they all want to go to a terrace and have takeout or have wine or, whatever, if you want to hang out with them, you kind of have to go along with it. And that can be hard, I find. I mean, obviously there are ways that you can just say no thanks, or you can go and not participate, which is what I used to do in the past. But for whatever reason, this past couple of weeks, I haven't felt comfortable doing that. I think it's really important to analyze those categories that you like to spend on versus those that you don't really like to spend on, and to honor that, because I'm realizing that, my spending on these things, it's just because other people value it and just because other people want to or like to or can spend money in a certain area, it doesn't mean that you have to do that just because they're doing that. The one solution that I have, though, that I've discovered kind of over the past little bit that I think is going to be a big help with the warmer months coming up is not drinking alcohol. Because if you're gonna go to a terrace with your friends and you're drinking, whatever, personally, I don't really love drinking. I don't like the way alcohol makes me feel, and I also don't really like the way it tastes. So I've switched over to getting mocktails, and mocktails are half the price. So if you are like me and you don't love drinking, or you wanna save money when going out, just cutting out alcohol can already then and there cut your bill in half. So that is something that I've been doing, and that actually is a trick that I'm gonna carry with me through the rest of the summer, and that gives me a lot of confidence in this dining out budget, knowing that I can kind of keep it down but still participate in those social activities. But here we are halfway through April, and I do feel like I've spent quite a bit. When I looked at the numbers, as usual, it always feels worse than it actually is, right? Like in my head, I'm like so over budget and it's so terrible, but really it's not so bad. However, I do need to be careful for the rest of the month to come. Now, the last reason, which is going to transition into the next part of this video, that I've been feeling a little bit anxious is because I'm actually missing one of my invoice payments. I billed my client for copywriting a little bit later this month. And I think because of the holiday and everything, it's just taking longer to receive my payment. But we're now in the kind of middle of the month and I haven't been paid for last month. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because the bill was about $1,000, and you know, you'd like to see that money in your bank account. So I probably need to follow up with them, but that also makes me nervous. So that's just kind of on me right now to follow up on that last month's income. But yeah, so anyways, I just hope that like sharing all of this with you guys and doing this check-in is going to be kind of like my clean slate for the rest of the month, because financial anxiety sucks. I feel like we can all relate to that feeling of like, it just sucks, and we don't want to hold on to it for too long, because I do believe that a positive mindset towards money, an abundance mindset, really brings good things. So, okay, right here, we're switching our minds right now. Alrighty, so on that note about income, let's talk about what I've earned so far in April. I'm just gonna open up my laptop. So there's not too much so far. The first thing is I got paid from my part-time job at the spin studio, got paid $230. And I've gotten a couple paychecks in from some sponsored videos that I did last month, totaling up to $1,200. So that's all my income so far. I bill for my freelance work at the end of the month. AdSense comes in usually around the 20th. And then the sponsored videos, they come in sporadically based on when I actually filmed and uploaded the video, and also based on the payment terms that I have with the company who is sponsoring. So not only the variability in the amounts that I get paid every single month, but also the variability in which these amounts arrive into my bank account is why it makes it really hard for me to set up my payments and my savings to autopay, just because the amount that's in my checking account is like always fluctuating. So for that reason, I have a lot of my goals kind of just on manual mode, meaning that I am the one who has to like physically make these transfers over, like let's say transferring from checkings to savings. At the beginning of the month, I posted a video all about my financial goals, like taking action together. I really, really loved that video, and it really got me in an amazing swing towards my financial goals. So on that front, I am feeling really good. Let's just do a quick check-in with those goals right now. The first goal is to put $470 towards the emergency fund. I haven't done that yet. I think I will do it as soon as I get that missing paycheck. I'm gonna take $470 from there and put that into my emergency fund. I'm also, of course, gonna take money off of it for taxes, and then probably take some of that and also some of the sponsored income that I've already earned and put that towards my RSP. But I do prefer to do all of that in just one lump sum transfer at the end of the month. So I'm not gonna touch any of that yet. And also we're still waiting for some of it to arrive. 1 month ahead, I am actually already over my goal, which is so nice. So my 1 month ahead goal is $1,875, and I currently have about $2,000 in there. So that is awesome. The $1,875 covers my apartment and parking rent for the next month, as well as my cash spending. So not having to worry about that, and knowing that the rest of the paychecks that come in can go towards my savings, can go towards, you know, everything else, that feels really, really nice. So actually saying that out loud, that's one big weight off of my shoulder, and my anxieties about how much I spent and, you know, potentially how much I might be earning, they feel a bit less heavy. Other than that, my other recurring goal is to earn $5,000 a month or more. And I think I'm gonna be on track to doing that, but we will see at the end of the month. In terms of what I spent, I of course paid my rent for this apartment plus my parking, which is $875. I paid my office rent, which is $750. All of that at the beginning of the month. And I've made one car payment already, which is already on auto pay of $104. So all the payments are good. The only thing that will be coming out of my account now, what's left, is another $104 for the car payment once again. Now let's get into my day-to-day spending. I feel like this is where the real like juice of the video is. So I'll put up on the screen the amounts. I'm looking right now at my budget tracker, which of course is from The Line. Use this every single week to check in with my finances. It's like my new little best friend. So let's run through this. Groceries, budgeted $400. So far I've spent $114. We are on track. That is amazing. The thing is, the reason that the groceries is so low, like I've only spent $104 in 17 days of April, is because I have eaten out so much, like so much this month. I've been so off my routine just in all aspects of my life this month, which could also be contributing to just my general anxiety overall, because I really thrive on routine. But that explains why the groceries are low, because we'll see, dining out is quite high. Home, I have spent $370. I bought all new sheets because we're getting a brand new bed. And actually, I want to show you guys this. So now I live with my boyfriend, and we have been putting money aside together to cover anything from the home so that we can share the expenses. And we've been putting cash into this envelope, which I got this envelope years ago. Someone at the bank gave it to me. It was like a Lunar New Year envelope from the bank, and the guy told me it was good luck. I have held on to this for years, and I swear it is good luck. Even in here, I'm not gonna show you guys because it's like so sacred to me, but I wrote myself a check for a certain amount. The check was about YouTube, and I was saying how like I one day would like to get paid for doing YouTube. I wrote that check in 2019, and I have earned that amount from YouTube already, which is crazy. So I keep that in here, and this is my little like lucky money envelope. So we've been putting the cash in here for the home just to symbolize like luck and whatever in, you know, for our new house together. Well, not a new house, but it's not a house and it's not new for me moving in, okay? So I'm going to take out $370 to cover those sheets from here. So that way I can already put that towards my credit card, which is gonna help lower that balance a little bit at the end of the month. But here we are halfway through April, and I do feel like I've spent quite a bit. When I looked at the numbers, as usual, it always feels worse than it actually is, right? Like in my head, I'm like so over budget and it's so terrible, but really it's not so bad. However, I do need to be careful for the rest of the month to come. So we have 100, 200, 300, 50, 60, 70. So 370, I'm gonna put this aside and take that to the bank and then stick it right onto my credit card. The rest of this I'll put back into this lucky envelope. And you guys can see how it's faded. It's because I actually used to have this taped on my fridge, and I would rub it for good luck every time I would like open my fridge. It works. Okay, treat yourself. I'm actually in the positive because I returned some clothes that I had bought from Oak and Fort, so I got back $178. I've spent $108 on Maggie when I budgeted $100. She went to the dog sitter a few times. We've been trying out different foods, so I'm buying the smaller bags, which are like less like cost efficient, we could say. And yeah, pets are expensive. Budgeted $40 on coffee, and I've already spent $43. So yeah, kind of a fail. I've already gone over, and I think I'm gonna end up going over more in that category. That comes from being in Ottawa, because I was just like spending money like crazy on coffees. I don't know, when I'm in Ottawa, it's like coffee time. Dining out, I budgeted $200 and I've already spent $114. So I have $85 left to get me to the end of the month, which is pretty good if I keep up with the groceries. I just like don't feel like I have that much faith in myself. I don't know. And that comes back to like summertime, let's go out. Like, okay, can I stretch $85 over 2 weeks? Like, let's see. Honestly, it's a good challenge though. It's a good challenge. Business expenses, I have spent a lot. Now I budget $40 in cash for business expenses for like grabbing a coffee, working from a coffee shop, that kind of thing. But anything else, business expense, I don't really put a cap on it, because when you need something to do your job, you need it, and it's just not really a question. So I have already spent $270. Most of that comes from a new microphone that I bought. You might hear my beautiful crisp new sound. So that comes from the new microphone that I bought. Transportation, I bought a 10 pack on the Metro, so I spent $30, budgeted $40. That should last me the whole month. Personal care, I've already spent $60 when I budgeted $20. I bought some makeup, I bought like eyeliner, yeah. Gifts, I budgeted $40, I spent $50, and I know there are a couple more gifts I'm gonna need to be buying this month. Skiing, nothing. Therapy, nothing. Healthcare, nothing. Gas, budgeted $100, spent $100. Workouts, I had a subscription to the Slay app. I actually canceled it because I found myself like I said, I've been out of my routine and I kind of stopped using it. So it was $15 a month that I decided I'm gonna try and save from now on. And I got my car fixed, which cost $260. So my total spending so far, including the business expenses, but not including my fixed expenses, is $1,430, which is quite high. I am like a little bit nervous for the end of the month when the time is gonna come to like pay off my cards. I mean, cash is cash, but I found myself just like, the other day, let's say I went out with some friends and I didn't have my cash on me because I wasn't expecting to like get drinks, get food and stuff. And then so I just like put it on my card. That is a bad behavior that I need to stop. So I love showing you guys my cash envelopes in every single video. I just feel like it's very me. So we don't need to go through and like go through each envelope because we've already done the totals. We know what's left. But I do know that in this coffee envelope, I had already spent some on credit, so I feel like I need to take some of this away, and I wanna see how much is left in here. $5, $10, $15, $20. Okay, so I'm gonna take away $10. I'm gonna leave myself with 10 because I have a coffee date with a friend tomorrow. But from there, I'm gonna see if that can be my last coffee of the month, because even though it's only $10, it's not the end of the world. I still do want to hold myself accountable. So I'm going to take this $10 away. Whenever I take money away, whenever I spend something on credit, I put back the money into this envelope here, which says spent on credit. This is what I will take to the bank and deposit. So I'm going to put that $10 into here so that it can be tucked away. And I'm also gonna put that $370 in here so that I can take all of this to the bank and slap it onto my credit card. The last thing I wanna say about the cash envelope method is sometimes I forget that you can technically pass money between your accounts. So if you are overspending on dining out, but you're spending less on groceries, you can take that money from groceries and use it towards dining out. At the same time, I don't want to cross spend too much because I feel like that could create a bad habit where you're just leaning on other accounts and the lines of your accounts get too blurred. And then it's just like, what's the point of even using this method? But I am feeling so much better now. I hope that you enjoyed this little check-in. I hope it was fun. Let me know your thoughts in the comment. Let me know how you're currently feeling about money. How is April going for you so far? I really, really love hearing from you guys. I have faith that I'm gonna turn my mood around, turn my spending around for the end of April, and it's gonna be an amazing month. I mean, we're already halfway through, but it's gonna be a great rest of the month. So I will talk to you guys in my next video. I have so much good stuff, fun vlogs and everything coming up. And then in a couple weeks, I'll see you for the monthly money. Until then, I love you so much. Thank you for watching. Bye.